Hey guys, welcome back to Super Dynamic Bros. I'm your host Marco Sarabona, and today I'll be reviewing the latest Christopher Nolan movie, Dunkirk. Dunkirk is about it takes place in World War II. It's about when the British soldiers have to get evacuated from the island of Dunkirk because it was being surrounded by German forces. Now, right off the bat, I do have to say, this is a great movie, but not one of the best of the Christopher Nolan movies. Now, why it's great is because technologically, this movie is phenomenal. The sound design, the action sequences, the cinematography, just visually stunning, beautiful looking film, and it's really intense. Really, when the movie begins, the movie just never stops. Like right off from the beginning of the movie, you're in this intense, like, anxiety-driven, experience. Like, the movie really never goes down. You're always on your toes. You're in this insane, intense war experience. You're there, you're in the battle, you're with these soldiers. And what I do love about this movie is that it takes place within three perspectives. You have the fighter pilots in the air, you have the soldiers on the beach trying to get off the island, and then you have the civilian ships that are trying to go to the beach to rescue soldiers from the island. Now, what I did love about it taking place in like three different perspectives is that you see the entire war. Well, not the war, but you see like the entire battle from every way. But one of the problems is that this movie doesn't really follow like a linear structure. This movie's not really in chronological order. It kind of jumps back and forth within times. Like, it'll show you one event from one person's perspective, and then you'll go back and then it'll show you again another person's perspective. But it gets a little confusing towards the middle because you're wondering, like, alright, so which timeline is this one person's point of view, and where is this other person here? So it gets a little bit confusing of where you are in the story, and it'll keep showing you the same sequence three times. So by like the third time, like, you kind of already know what's gonna happen. So it really kind of like, it takes away from the momentum. And when you come across any Christopher Nolan movie, you know that he is a master filmmaker. So he always is pushing the boundaries of what to do. It's just, I think this time it just kind of, especially towards the middle, you kind of get a little lost in where you are in the story, and it kind of just keeps going back and forth, and you don't really know where you are. But I mean, it's visually beautiful to look at. Like, this is, like I said it before, it's such a beautiful looking movie. And it's intense, and it's jarring, and it's you're really inside, you're really in the battle with these soldiers. Another thing from a technical stance is that you can really tell that there wasn't very much like CGI used in this movie. A lot of the stuff that happens is really like, it's practical effects, and you really tell like all this stuff, it just looks so real. You can't really tell like what was CGI and what was real. So, it all feels so real and there and right in your face. So, I mean, that's something that's always known with, any Christopher Nolan movie, like the Dark Knight trilogy or like, Inception and all that. So I really, you have to give, that's why, Christopher Nolan, he's one of the best directors working today, because he's not afraid of using the practical effects versus, just having a CGI heavy film. Everything looks real, and when it looks real, you feel like you're actually there. But one thing that kind of does bring down this movie is there are there's a lot of great actors in this movie. No one gives a bad performance. It's just that you don't really get in depth with each character. They're kind of just soldiers that are there. Like let's say let's give an example like Saving Private Ryan. The reason why you really dearly care about that story is because you care about the characters. You learn so much about those characters. While in Dunkirk, you don't really get to know much about any of the characters. They're all just there doing the action, and they're just there. You don't really get to know much about them, so you're not really invested in what's really going on with them. Yeah, sure, some the things around them are happening, it's intense and stuff, but you kind of don't really care about whether or not a certain characters really kind of make it, because you're not invested in them. And I really think that that makes it hard for any of the audience members to really kind of connect with what's going on, because you kind of, all right, something bad happens to one person, okay, that I didn't know anything about that person, so I kind of really don't care that much. But that's not taken away from any of the actors' performances. They all were great. It's just I kind of wish I had a little more character moments with them. But I understand that, I guess, given the story, just the action and everything had to keep moving along, because I guess that's what happened in the actual event. But for me, I do want to get invested in the characters as much as the action and all the beautiful visual effects. So I would say it's not the greatest Christopher Nolan movie, and it's not the worst. It's that in between. This still kind of proves that he is the master of his craft, and I'm gonna give this film a score of 8 out of 10. So, other than kind of like the weak characters and the non-linear structure that kind of gets confusing, everything else in this movie it's definitely a spectacle to watch, and I encourage everyone to go out and go see this movie. So thank you guys for joining me today, and I'll catch you all next time.